when you're smiling, smiling, oh, smiling. The whole world smiles with you.
Good morning from New Orleans. We're finally here. It took us a couple of days. We were supposed to fly out from Virginia on Saturday, and that flight was canceled due to the snowstorm that hit all up and down the East Coast. And so our flight was canceled, and we were able to rebook for Sunday. Thank goodness. We only missed a day of our trip, but these are the kinds of things that inevitably are going to happen to you if you travel enough, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. Mark had some work to do for today. His conference started today, so unfortunately that's the bad part about our plans getting changed, is that he won't get to do anything here in New Orleans for fun. He's here on a business trip, and he'll be working on that today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then we fly out on Thursday. So it's just me on my own, which I'm pretty used to. And today I think I'm going to get on the hop-on, hop-off bus to kind of get a lay of the city. I do have a cemetery tour scheduled at 11. So right now I think I'm going to head out and walk about, I think I counted last night, it's about 8 city blocks to Cafe du Monde, which is the place here in New Orleans to get beignets. And so I will see you when I get there. Here it is, the beignets, the Cafe au Lait, and I'm about to have my first real New Orleans breakfast. Here I go. Just as good as they say. Well, that was a great way to start the day here in New Orleans. They were just as good as everybody says. Gonna have to go back there tomorrow. It's a good thing that we don't have these at home, or I'd weigh 400 pounds. So now I'm off down the street to find a voodoo shop, which is where I'm supposed to meet to start the tour for the cemetery.
Yeah, the whole world smiles with you, yes it do. And when you're laughing, ha ha, keep on laughing, oh yes. And the sun must shine on through, yes it will. But when you're crying, oh you bring on the rain. Stop your sighing, baby, and be happy again. When you're smiling, smiling, oh, smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
just finished the tour of St. Louis Cemetery #1 here in New Orleans. It was really, really fascinating. Our tour guide, Stella, was very entertaining, extremely knowledgeable. I highly recommend her. Anyway, pictures were allowed inside, but absolutely no videos were allowed inside. So here's a brief slideshow for you. This is the Anne Rice house, also once owned by Nick Cage after Anne Rice sold it, now owned by a private family. And you can own this house here in the Garden District for a mere $5.5 million, complete with gardens and beautiful cast iron fence. It is gorgeous. So now I'm in Lafayette Cemetery #1 in the Garden District. They say it's the oldest non-denominational cemetery in the city, whereas the one I saw this morning was Catholic, and it's owned and run by the Catholic diocese. This one is less restrictive, and so that's why I'm able to take some video here. And it's pretty. It's just a little more spread out and organized. Yeah, it's interesting, the difference, because the other one just seems sort of haphazard and kind of people were randomly buried wherever they could fit a new tomb. This one, like I said, is a little more organized, more in rows. Still the same type of tombs. Still the ornate wrought iron and cast iron fence work around some of them. Still some that are in very poor shape, like this one, and some that are in better shape. In most cases, they're only kept in these tombs or crypts, excuse me, for a year and a day until the body naturally decomposes, and in the hot southern Louisiana temperatures, they're pretty much reduced to ash. And so once that happens, then they go in, they take your remains after a year and a day, and the year being that it gives you one full cycle of the weather so that you're fully decomposed, and then they remove you and put you in a family crypt. So these crypts, like this one that I'm looking at right now, are used many, many, many times by many people, and you can see the list of the family members here. And they will just use it throughout the centuries for everybody in the family. And it could have been not even a blood relative. Back in the days of slavery, many times a house slave was who was particularly loved by the children or by the wife was entombed with the family members.
Small hurricane.
Mark, your favorite Slurpee machines?
Yes.